Thank you. We have a full quorum. Next, we will review and hopefully approve the meeting minutes for May 12th, the regular meeting, the June 1st work session, the June 9th regular meeting, and the June 25th special meeting. I entertain a motion when you're ready, commissioners.
I'll make a motion, we approve all of those minutes.
And is there support? Support. Motion made by Commissioner Jensen and supported by Commissioner Karen to approve all the meeting minutes. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Next is the approval of the agenda. I know that we have one revision. And that's to, under the public hearings, to also add a second public hearing for High Rock Hardware. Is there anyone willing to make that?
I have one item too, Mr. Chairperson.
Very good.
And number 9, new business, the engagement letter with Raymond James, bond counsel, and have authorized the county administrator to sign on our behalf.
Are there other additions?
With those 2 changes, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Or a motion has been made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Britz, to adopt the agenda with the, as presented, but with the addition of public hearing for High Rock Hardware, and also under new business, the letter of engagement from Raymond James. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. We'll move on next to the public hearing for Peak Metal Roofing Products. Is there a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen and supported by Commissioner Jensen to open the public hearing. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the hearing is now open. Call upon Jeff Ratcliffe, Executive Director of KEDA, to lead this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This public hearing is the last step in the loan process. This is under our Cook County Revolving Loan Fund. We made a loan to Peak Metal Roofing Systems several years ago. They have completed the key element in the key requirement for the Community Development Block Grant Program that funds this, which is job creation. So I'm pleased to report they have met their job creation requirements. The company has been doing very well. It has responded very well to their products. So they have been making their payments on time. So everything has been going well with them. So this is just a formality to close out the paperwork process with the Michigan County Development Corporation.
Thank you, Jeff. Are there any questions for Jeff, Mr. Radcliffe, on this? All right. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, who made the motion?
I did.
Okay. The motion has been made by Commissioner Karen, supported by Commissioner Jensen to close the public hearing. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. The public hearing is closed. Next, we will move on to a public hearing for High Rock Hardware. Is there a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen and supported by Commissioner Jensen to open the public hearing for High Rock Hardware. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. The public hearing is in session. Call once again on Jeff to lead us on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a new loan to High Rock Hardware in Hancock. This owner has taken over the operation of that hardware store, is looking to expand its operations, has approached KEDA, and as a result, we brought together both the KEDA Revolving Loan Fund Review Committee and the Houghton County Review Committee. We looked at this project jointly, and we also reached out to Northern Initiatives, looking at the balance that we have in our respective accounts, the amount the is looking for, 1,000. Northern Initiatives is looking favorably on this, so they're moving their half of the loan through the process, and we have recommended the Houghton County Loan Fund Review Committee is recommending a $70,000 loan from the Houghton County Fund. The KEDA Fund has already approved the additional $20,000 in order to get the half of the total funding that is needed for this project.
Thank you, Jeff. Questions for Jeff on this? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen, supported by Commissioner Jensen to close the public hearing. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Public hearing is closed. Thank you, Jeff. Next is the public comments for agenda items. We have a 3-minute limit for speaking. Are there public comments regarding agenda items? There will be a second public hearing opportunity at the conclusion of this meeting for any topics that are not agenda related. Are there public comments for agenda related items?
So far.
Thank you. We'll move on. We're moving to item H, which is the approval of the bills for $874,333.03. What is the recommendation of our finance committee?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman, for the amount of $874,333.03.
And I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen and supported by Commissioner Anderson to approve the bills. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Karen?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Chairman Tickner?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ritz?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. We're going to move on to reports. I'll start with Commissioner Anderson.
Just one item, Twin Lakes State Park will be opening August 1st. As you know, it's been closed, I think, all of last year and most of this year. The DNR Parks Division reconstructed the whole park. They put a new septic field in, new bathrooms, new showers, new blacktop on the streets, new everything, I think. So it's opening August 1st. So those who like to camp, and certainly in that area, the economic impact would be nice to have that back into full operation. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Jensen.
So the city of Houghton approved the moratorium for data centers at their last meeting. I made a copy of that ordinance and shared it with everybody, and asked that we have it on our next work session agenda to discuss whether or not to move forward. Of course, I would like to move forward with that. And then the materials management planning with Whoopiter had a meeting last week. And next month, we will be reviewing the plan, which at that point goes out to cities, townships, and villages for their approval. Eagle with the state is requiring 2/3 of our municipalities to approve it, and that's 19. No, we have 19, so we're gonna need, I don't know, what is that, 13 for it to pass. If it doesn't, then the state steps in. So anyway, I'll have more information on that after the next meeting, and that's all I have.
Very good, thank you. Commissioner Keranen.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I have a statement I'd like to read regarding some recent news activity. So if the news media would like a copy of this, I'll be sure to give you the full script for you. So, good evening. It's nice to see a room full of people here tonight. It would be great if you were all here to discuss the matters of Houghton County, such as what's on our agenda. The Health Department, Houghton County 911, our public defenders, or the possibility of a new jail and how to pay for it. Unfortunately, I'm guessing they are not here to discuss any of those things. They're here because of a nonsense surrounding the Trap Rock Valley Parade. I'm going to tell you about the Trap Rock Valley Parade. It started in 2020. The purpose of this parade is to celebrate freedom and liberty. The only rules we have, we do not allow commercial advertising or campaigning politicians. If you were to attend the parade, you would find floats that are patriotic, clever, humorous, or involve political satire. One such float from this year's parade caught the attention of those on social media. I am going to venture a guess that none of those people actually attended the parade. Rather, they made assumptions about the float based on social media posts. I did not build this float, nor did I have anything to do with it. However, some have determined that because I did not ban the float from the parade, this means that I'm a white supremacist. Among other things, let me address this. Recall, the purpose of the parade is to celebrate freedom and liberty. So I'm not going to ban a float when freedom of speech is one of the core freedoms that's protected by the First Amendment to the US Constitution. Someone's free speech doesn't end where the next person's feelings begin. It begins and ends with our Constitution. Well, let's be honest. It's not about a float. What this is about is a worldview. It goes back to my stance on gender. This is clearly evident by the flyer that the nonpartisan Keweenaw Indivisible group shared over social media calling for me to resign. The group incorrectly and frankly irresponsibly defined a simple 4th of July parade as an event that glorified ICE and white supremacy. That statement was completely false. They also used a flyer to reference my two genders proposal from December. They went back to something that had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with a float in a parade. However, they also made a statement that I actually wholeheartedly agree with. They called for the community to show me that hate has no home in the Keweenaw. This is true. Hate has no home in the Keweenaw or anywhere for that matter. Let me be clear. I have never said I hated anyone. You have never heard from me any name calling, profanity, or threats. Go back and read my statement from December. You won't find anything other than a clearly stated, biblically based worldview. My worldview is shaped by my faith and by the truth of the Bible. You may find those values and beliefs that stem from my faith offensive, but I didn't define them, God did. I have the absolute right to hold to those beliefs because of our great Constitution. On the other hand, I'm now going to show you where you'll find hate. This was just one of the communications I received over the past few days. And if you have kids in the audience, I would block their ears.
Alum and a few cheaper by blood, although from Sault Marie. And you should, you really should. It's great.
Was that picked up over the audio? Okay, I want to make sure y'all heard that. Sorry for the language, but that's what I was getting. I can give you his phone number if anyone wants it later. Our country was founded on godly principles because our great founders stated, in case you forgot, our rights are unalienable. Translation, they come from God. They don't come from a king. They don't come from an elected official, not 5 county commissioners, not from Lansing, not from 545 people in Washington, D.C. I have the right to bring my biblical worldview into the public square just as much as the extreme left has their right to bring their secular worldview in. But let's be clear. People here today calling for my resignation do not want my worldview anywhere, whether it's Washington, D.C., Lansing, or Houghton County. And because I dared to do that in December, that is why they're here today. That is why I'm being called all kinds of nasty, mean-spirited, profanity-laced names, and I'm facing threats and character assassination. This is what the extreme left does. It's pretty much the only play in their playbook. The intolerance and hateful rhetoric is coming from the extreme left, not from me. I will not allow my character to be smeared by my political opposition, by people who have never even spoken to me or spent any time with me. I will trust people who know me or have worked with me to judge my character. So what you'll most likely hear during tonight's public comment is more false assumptions about my character, riddled with profanity and hate. I hope I'm wrong. What's ironic about all this is I'm 100% supportive of you having the right to believe whatever you wish. You can believe in atheism. You can believe there are 27 genders, or there is no such thing as gender. You can believe in illegal immigration or open borders. You're free to be a socialist, Marxist, or communist. You're free to believe whatever you wish. But just because again, we have unalienable rights. But what you are not free to do is restrict me from being a God-fearing conservative with values and morals that America has treasured for 250 years. It has become obvious that the extreme left feels it's okay and reasonable to attack any other Houghton County resident who holds the same values as me and dares to speak up. They've been pressuring their affiliations and even threatening their livelihoods. This is completely unacceptable. If you believe in what I'm saying and you dare to speak up or plan to speak up tonight, thank you. I know it's not easy. If you believe in the things I'm saying tonight and you haven't spoken up, now is the time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if the news media would like this complete script, I have it for you. And I sure hope the Daily Mining Gazette will publish the whole thing on the front page of their paper, word for word, verbatim. Thank you. And no, Mr. Chairman, I will not be resigning. That was a request. Thank you.
I don't see that on the agenda.
Nice. Thank you. I yield back.
Commissioner Britz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I only have one thing. Commissioner Jansen and I sat in on the audit review for Canal View this past week. And I just want to commend the Canal View staff there. The report came back that the workmanship and the dedication of their staff, the accountability was outstanding, and they're solid. There's no concerns with Canal View. We can keep going forward with the fantastic facility we have there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. I have nothing to report that's not covered on the agenda for tonight's agenda. We'll call upon our department heads for their reports. We'll start with our clerk, Jennifer.
Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. I know you're extremely busy with the upcoming elections and everything else that's provided. And the sheriff has already indicated he'll pass for tonight. Is that?
Yeah, we have an agenda item for 911 under Sheriff Chicane will take care of that.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to industry day.
Wonderful, thank you. I believe our airport manager is here, Casey Polkinghorn.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners and Chelsea. Thank you. Just quick, freight in and out is up for the month of June, which is very good. higher than last month, the month before. The trend continues on employments and deplayments slightly higher than the record year we had last year. That trend has remained steady since January. There is an additional Sun Country flight, the second one for this year, scheduled for September 23rd and back on the 26th. And L3 Harris is on site at the airport for about 5 days, installing fiber optic cable, pretty much around the whole entire airport to the DOR. It will not interrupt flight operations or anything else. That's all I have.
Who's paying, whose contract is that under?
L3 Harris, we're not paying them anything. It's we don't have anything to do with them in the FAA.
So the FAA is paying for that.
Yeah, it's not us.
Yeah, I just saw that equipment up there.
Anything else?
Thank you very much. Appreciate the third flight. Okay, anything for our building department?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. None report.
Very good, thank you. Are there other department heads here that we haven't recognized? I don't think I'm missing anyone.
IT.
IT,
Nothing to report today.
okay, very good. Thanks for all you're doing. All right, and anything from administrator's office?
Nothing to report from administration.
Very good. You're on the agenda anyway, so, okay. Then we will move on to item J, unfinished business, starting with the contract to continue with Easton Lightela. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Included in your board packets is some background information on both of our contractors. We've contracted with Easton since December, and we are looking to continue for 4 weeks at a total cost of $2,000. In addition, we're looking to continue contract with Joe Mangan, who provided service in June, and so far in July, what I found was not under contract. So I'm requesting we contract those months and pay him for his prior work, and also contract for the month of August, and his total cost is $5,000 per month.
Very good. Any questions for our administrator?
Mr. Chairman, you want to take them individually or you want a motion for both at the same time?
I think whatever your preference is.
I'll be glad to make a motion that we authorize a contract for total of $2,000 with Easton Lightela and what would be $15,000 for Joe Mangan.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to approve both contracts. Is there further discussion? Please do a roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Chairman Hickman,
Yes.
Commissioner Harriman,
Yes.
Commissioner Briggs.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. That takes care of unfinished business. Moving to new business. Item 1 is the Peak Metal Roofing Products Loan Closeout.
Do we need a motion, Mr. Chairman, just to close out that?
Yes, we do.
loan? So I'll make a motion that we close out the Peak Metal Roofing loan as was presented or discussed in the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to close out the Peak Metal Roofing Products loan. Is there further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Chairman Hickman,
Yes.
Commissioner Harriman,
Yes.
Commissioner Briggs.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next on new business is the High Rock Hardware Loan Approval, which is a resolution number 26-13 to approve the Community Development Block Grant Loan Program.
So, Mr. Chairman, as a member of the Fulton County Revolving Loan Committee, I would make the motion that we adopt resolution 26-13, authorizing a loan of $70,000 to the High Rock hardware company.
And I second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to approve the loan. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Teeter.
Yes.
Commissioner Aaron.
Yes.
Commissioner Briggs.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on then to item 3. We have a Copper Shores update. Joining us tonight is Mike Babcock and another
Jess Mills.
For having us today. I am Jessica Mills. I am the program director at Copper Shores Meals on Wheels. I've had the pleasure of taking over this position since the end of January. We've really started to grow and expand thanks to the generous community and our military. So we just wanted to take a moment, give a quick update to everybody on where we stand as a program. We did hand out just a little paper here that gives just a glance at what we've done so far. So we've been able to reach our waiting list completely. That put 52 seniors getting home delivered meals right off the bat. We're also serving up to 60 more seniors every day with our hungry meal program, which is the meeting site. We've added 2 new locations for those meeting sites in Southern Home County, which is a big goal of ours because we didn't go any farther south than Chassel. As you all know, Home County is quite large. So we've expanded into Twin Lakes with an average of 20 to 30 seniors eating every week with us, and Alston with an average of 20 to 25 seniors. We're also working closely with Sidnot to open a site in Sidnot, Kenton. We're excited about that, and that should be opening. We've also found a new permanent site, which is more centralized for our Chassel location at the Chassel VFW. And we're currently looking at a few other locations throughout Hogan County based on needs that we've come across it. During our grant cycle, which is from October through September, we've already served 81,829 meals to homebound seniors in our community. Last year at this closeout year, we served 99,644 meals. This month, we're going to surpass that goal with 2 months left in our average. We're about 350 meals a day. Another huge leap. When I first started that conversation, we were only serving about 170. So we're so excited to report that. On this graph, you see that we have a quick code here to get onto a dashboard. We worked really closely with our marketing team to get some data out there so the public can go to our Copper Shores website, follow along with our growth, and be able to get questions answered there. We also have an online chat for anybody who has any questions and would like some real-time answers. We've had some great stories, and Michael's here to share one of those.
Yeah, the expansion, we're very thankful for you guys sharing some time here. I just want to say this is available by the door, so you want to grab it on your way out. We will try to get these 2 quarterly. We can add more information. We have some ideas what we want to add to it. So if you guys have things you want us to add, let us know now or later time. You need to advance that. Just those evening sites, they're a really nice way to bring community together. I've already seen examples of that. During the 4th of July holidays, I was visiting with a couple of my friends' parents, and in Twin Lakes, I heard the same story I heard in Alston. People that have been going to this site, running into people that they haven't seen in quite a while because they don't go to the same church or they don't work at the same places anymore. It's giving people, older Americans, a chance to get together, older Copper Country residents a chance to get together and meet together and hopefully fight this epidemic of loneliness, which has been taking over our country in a lot of really negative ways. So having those 2 sites up has been a really good thing. And I also want to mention we're continuing to do fundraising as we said we would. 2025 was the best year of fundraising we've had with the BOC Meeting program. And 2026, we're off to a really good start as well. We're going to continue to do that to make sure that this gets funded in a number of ways, not just simply the village.
Thank you for having us, and we're excited to continue sharing our growth with you. And again, please reach out anybody with any questions. You sure can. Of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica and Michael. We'll move on to item 4. We have Pete Berry and Roy Mannanen from the Health Department regarding some information. We also will be acting on the annual appropriation later in the meeting. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss this report. Pete Berry, Health Officer, West Regional Department, and Roy Mannanen, he's our Finance Director. This process comes via a letter. That letter will come and have your appropriation request in it. And this year, our Board of Health did request that we for each of 5 counties. So we want to do 3 things. We just want to talk a little bit about the health department, what we do in the community, and then Roy will talk about the funding level options, the handout that he put there in front of you. And we'll talk a little bit about the importance of the investing in you. So Western Opportunities for Health Department is a special unit of government created by interlocal agreements. Counties of America, hope to keep it up, keep it on. Our agency is directed by a Board of Health, provides the commission. We're headquartered in Hancock, offices in Montauk. Agency has existed in its current form since February 1st of 50 employees, provide a full suite of environmental and public health services. Local health funds in Michigan provide services that impact the daily lives of county residents. Clean water, safe food, reduce disease burden, access to care, and public health services. Public health in your community is seen everywhere: restaurants, bars, the wastewater systems, and I think we'll water business every day to ensure community safe, healthy, and available to recreation. I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're here, the financial aspect of it, and then we'll talk about.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little background on the finances before I go to this chart that I handed out to you all. So since 2019, our recurrent revenue has remained relatively flat. That's including appropriations from our counties. We have seen about a 0.48% increase in revenue on state and local contributions for our operating expenses. That's excluding any one-time grants and shuttered operations. So we did like a like analysis there. And during that same time period, inflation in Michigan was approximately 22%. Our baseline expenditure was just 12%. So we've already done a lot of auditing and getting leaner. The biggest driver of that increase was MERS. We closed that out recently for all units of government. So that shorter amortization period, which drove a lot of our expenditures. That's only a 1.63% per year annualized increase in expenditures. We've done phenomenally well at maintaining our lean structure, but still providing the core essential services that Pete talked about and we'll continue to talk about. We recognize that, with that MERS, we recognize that the best thing a public body can do is stop the growth of long-term legacy liabilities. That's why we closed the MERS EV plan a couple of years ago. And then during that same time period, since 2018, we've been trying to shield our counties from having to step in and offer more funding, and we've spent down 30% of our fund balance since 2018. But we're reaching a point where our internal cushion is starting to rapidly deplete, and it's a scenario where we need more funding from our counties. But we don't like coming to y'all because that's not. I'm a very pragmatic person to do it myself, but it's not good to ask for help. That's what we're here for today. That chart we handed out gives up 4 scenarios. The first one would be the baseline. That's if we maintain current funding, which is $555,000 across all 5 counties. Boone County's investment of that would be just $277,745 per year. That would give us a projected budget deficit For fiscal year 27, 282,120. The second option I'm presenting here is inflation adjusted model at 20% inflation, and that comes up to 275,000. So that's taken the last time our increase happened was in 2019, 555,000, and took it to today's numbers. The third option would be matching the taxable value growth of the average of all 5 counties, which is approximately 43.9%. When you factor into the heavy adjustments, and that'll be 798,423. And then just for giggles, I did a 1987 budget. I found it. I looked at the appropriations. They're about 387,000 back then, and I did an inflation adjustment for today's levels to maintain 1987 purchasing power, and that would be 1.1 million approximately. That's not realistic. Technology made things a lot more efficient, so we don't need that kind of funding, but it just kind of gives you a framework on what the funding was like back in 1987. If you have any questions on the financials, I'm open to those at this time. Otherwise, I will pass it back to Pete here, who's going to discuss a little bit more about.
Thank you.
Question on numbers. So, you see those numbers there, those numbers are higher, and like I said, the class, so looking for it as an investment. Investment in your county, your residents provides flexible funding that allows you to have strong infrastructure. Infrastructure at a local health department, there's sanitarians, public health staff, or your community. They work here, they live here. We are residents of the whole county. So we're not unit, whole county government, but we are the Western. Sometimes, because we're not here at the table, we don't get up and call on county departments. If you want to see a local system that you want to trust, comprising people from your communities who make decisions based on life here and situations here, then we ask you to. Public health has very diverse funding streams. Our funds from state funds, streets national. We have very little discretionary funding. We have very little discretionary money. Typically, the dollars. The county funds that we do receive, those are our funds within our needs. So in a program like WIC or some other program that you might think be fully funded isn't, because they aren't. We use our local funds to fill in the cracks and we're careful and then we're very purposeful. The health department that's supported strongly by our community is far more flexible and responsible to your because we would have discretionary. Beyond that, we're a safe investment. We get clean audits. We pass our hurdles. All of our programs are very heavily monitored and scrutinized, both financially and careful. We put those little funds and we try to have the greatest impact. So, you'll see shortfalls. You see that we have shortfalls. We're kind of blinded on that sheet. And like Roy said, we have for fixes several years because we've been attempting to solve it on our own. And we have funding that has come various things that are on our portal have seen money. Those things are very hard to. But we are a organization. We've seen the loss of 8 staff. Multiple entities. Major clerks. So we're shrinking gracefully to attrition, and it's working. We're saving, but it's also requiring we're left faster to fire.
So what we're looking to do is try to get our funding adjusted back to a level where we can be responsible with it. And, so that is what that funding would do. You would see the levels there would still retain some deficit that we would have to fix. Even with option 2 and option 3, there would be some deficit we can overcome. Are there any questions?
I guess, Pete, how are you made out on the other? Are we the first county you're approaching, or you approach the other?
We spoke to America County last evening, and they were receptive to the discussion, but they did not take the action. Typically, what will happen is the Board of Health would agree on a number, vote on a number, and then that letter that requested will be counties. I'm comfortable with however you can approach that if you want to wait for that board process. We understand that your budgets are being constructed and for the board's request last month. So we're very last night, hoping tonight, even tomorrow night, and then next week we'll see it on
Then at least the county has until September, right, to make a decision for the fiscal year October 1.
Sure. I mean, it makes it complicated with how you build your budgets and how everything works out.
I just mentioned that because hopefully we'll see the audit this month. Is that still our hope?
That is the goal.
I mean, at least I'd like to assess that before I make it. Take a position.
The county audit.
Yes. That's just me.
And we're at your, we can work through this, but the help work. Each of the counties as requested by the Board of Health. So in the meantime.
Any other questions for Pete or Roy? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next item under new business is the Houghton County 911 responding renewal contract. We have Under Sheriff John Giacchino with us tonight. How do you do, Under Sheriff?
So, item number 1, are you ready? So we have the IM responding app. We'd like to renew it. We've had it for the last 6 years. I'd like you to take action on approving the 3-year $12,298.70 a year. for the IM responding app.
So is that the app that I download and can look at who's in and who's out of the jail? That's what you're talking about?
No, Commissioner, this is provided to all the 26 fire agencies there now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then this is an app on their iPhone or?
Yeah, they can use it on their iPhone or their other devices.
And this is,
It's a push notification. It sends out by, the county regional sends it out, that kind of gives a heads up to fire department members of a potential call that's coming in, and plus they use it for mapping and historical data. So it's a really good tool, and firemen really like using it.
Is it more considered a backup or is it some?
I would say it's a backup. It's good. It's a good tool for many purposes.
is this paid with 911 funds?
Correct.
Motion to approve the amount for $12,298.70 for a 3-year contract, is that correct?
Correct. It would be that amount per year for 3 years.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen, supported by Commissioner Britz to approve the 3-year renewal at $12,298.70 per year for the 911 response system. There further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Karen?
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz?
Yes.
Chairman White?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Under Sheriff.
Item number 2, whenever you're ready.
Go ahead.
Extending our agreement with Nagani Regional Dispatch. Over a 5-year contract, provided the information. So that's what we'd like to take action on, is to continue to use Nagani Regional Dispatch Center for the next 5 years.
I assume the fees in here are, it starts at 191,000, goes to 218,000 plus 5,000 a year.
Yes.
That's the total.
Yes, that's biannual payments, and that would be the total per year for the first year of 2027. Would be that 191,000 change, and in the last year, 2031, would be the 218,000.
Thank you.
Is our last contract 5 years?
I believe it was 3 years.
You're comfortable with the 5-year contract?
I am very comfortable with 5 years.
Yeah.
We're going back in history on the 911. You know, they were 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they were talking over $500,000 per year. Under Sheriff Aquino has done an outstanding job of keeping that cost to Houghton County down. And in my opinion, Nagani does a fantastic job dispatching our first responders. Pays it very close attention. I know he goes to meetings all the time with it, and I think that cost is very, very solid for Houghton County. With that, I'll make the motion to go ahead and approve the 5-year contract.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Britt, supported by Commissioner Keranen, to approve the 5-year contract renewal with Nagani Regional Dispatch Center. Further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Brett.
Yes.
Commissioner Karen.
Yes.
Chairman Goodman.
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you again, Under Sheriff.
Thank you.
Moving on then to item 6, that's the Tri-County Public Defenders. Their June 2026 payment request amounts to $74,698.58. What is your wish?
I'll make that motion. We authorize the June payment in that amount.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to approve the June payment. Is there further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Item 7 is resolution number 26-12, supporting House Bill 5249 to expand rural emergency medical care service capacity.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2612, supporting the House Bill 5249, expand rural emergency medical service capacities.
And I'll second that.
The motion has been made by Commissioner Britt, supported by Commissioner Anderson, to adopt resolution 26-12. Is there further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Brett.
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Chairman Goodman.
Yes.
Commissioner Karen.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Motion, thank you. Item 8 is a discussion about the need for a special meeting in the event that the county board wishes to seek a jail millage for the November general election. And this tomorrow, you might recall, is a jail committee event being held in Franklin Township, top Quincy Hill. The Industry Day, where local contractors or any contractors from anywhere or developers were invited to help develop or attend this meeting, and hopefully they will in turn develop a rough order of magnitude estimates for the construction of the new jail. The intent is to use those numbers, and if there are participants who are asking for those numbers to be developed by July 29th, and at which time we can evaluate those numbers depending on how the board directs the jail committee to proceed and try to estimate an actual jail millage or an amount that we would ask for if in fact we decide to continue forward with the jail construction initiative. We also have in the next item that was added tonight, the contract proposal from Raymond James. In the event that, well, with the time frame that we have established thus far, July 29th is the deadline for rough order of magnitude numbers to be received. And then at that point, I would, unless the board feels otherwise, the jail committee will utilize those numbers to try to develop a cost for construction, an estimate for construction. I'm going to call Faith. Faith, this is our co-chair of the jail committee. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you don't mind. So we're just trying to keep in step with the sequence of events because things are marching forward.
That's right. So the board will remember that August 11th at 4 p.m. is the deadline for the clerk to put any millage onto passed by the board onto the ballot next week. And so that's a firm deadline that can't be shifted. And so moving up to that, as Chairman Tickenden said, tomorrow we have Industry Day, and then 2 weeks after that on July 29th, the rough order of magnitude information from, first of all, the discussion will happen tomorrow, which should be very profitable and interesting. But then those contractors who wish will submit ROMs, rough order of magnitude estimates of what it would cost. And also we expect that the discussions during Industry Day will be really a free-flowing discussion of the structuring of a jail build and could bring the cost down into what the public can support through a millage. So we have a list that is on the webpage for Industry Day of the promises that we would like the electorate to see, of the promises for what they will get for voting yes on a jail millage. And then the Industry Day discussion is meant to help us get to that through the experience of our contractors who choose to help us out here at Industry Day so that we can get real numbers from people who really build things to get a number to go with a millage request. So those numbers will come to the board on July 29th. Then if you look at your calendar, we've got a little less than 2 weeks until you would have to put a millage on the ballot. In order to put a millage on the ballot, there has to be a meeting of the board, and the board meeting for August is poorly timed for the deadline of getting the millage to the ballot. So it has been suggested by the jail committee that the board call a special meeting towards the end of the week that contains August 6th. For a formal adoption of a millage language should that be developed through this process.
Thank you. So in the event that the circumstances unfold as we envision, we should, if we if we were to wait until our regular board meeting, that would be too late for the clerk to get things. And the other option would be to move our meeting time perhaps into the late part of the morning that day. But I don't know, the community has expressed pretty strong sentiment that they want our meetings to be held during the evening. So that might not be as comfortable a move for you. So rather than moving a regular board meeting time, perhaps we'd be well advised to have a special board meeting.
I would suggest August 6th, which is a Thursday, at least it's, and I would suggest that would give us a full week after the returns as far as what they value the project at.
August the
6th, Thursday, whatever time.
Can we have it earlier in the afternoon or late morning?
It doesn't matter to me. That's just my suggestion.
I have another meeting already scheduled at 10 that day. It's MSU Extension. It usually lasts an hour.
Early afternoon work for you?
Afternoon works.
Early, like 1 o'clock?
Yeah, anytime after 11:30. So even late morning would work.
I am gone August 1st to 10th on vacation out of the country.
And when are you back?
10th. Oh, you guys can proceed with.
You're here on the 10th?
No, I'm gone August 1 to 10.
Oh, sorry.
So it sounds like we're interested in in setting a date for a special meeting.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so what date? Commissioner Karen is going to be gone during that whole time.
Right.
Okay, so you were talking earlier, Commissioner Anderson, about August 6th.
The only other solution would be to have a special meeting early on the 11th. You know, if Joel's in town, to have all 5 of us here, assuming the rest of us are in town for that meeting, for the evening, and just have 2 meetings that day. I mean, that works too, but
I have a Michigan Works meeting that on the 11th at 11. So I'm going to be down Marquette and back for this, for our board meeting that night. As per usual with that organization. So, I mean, kind of spoken for on, but I don't need to be there either. It's up to you guys.
I will be driving back from Western Canada, so I hope to be back on the 10th. So.
otherwise, let's go with the Thursday, the 6th at 1 p.m. would be my suggestion.
Oh, is that okay with you? What is okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes,
I am going to be canvassing the August 4th election on the 6th and 7th.
all right.
I can try to see if I can get.
What about August?
Renee is with me, so.
What about August 5th? That 1 o'clock.
That works.
I think I could try to swing with that.
That works for you. Possible. August
I'm
5th.
very tired. I will try.
Is there a motion and, for that date and time?
I'll make a motion. We have a special meeting to consider jail bond issue on Wednesday, August 5th at 1 p.m.
I'll support.
On the 5th floor.
All right.
I'll support it.
Okay, a motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to hold a special board meeting at 1 p.m. August 5th on the 5th floor for the jail bond issue. As a point of discussion, I guess that's 1 week after you receive the rough order of magnitude numbers. Guess that's what we have to do. That's the time that, and would you be directing the, as part of, I guess I'd like to see the board make some clear instructions to the board, to the jail committee to to meet to review those rough order of magnitude numbers and work through those so they'd be able to, and does that give us enough time though to calculate the required millage?
It would on the millage, it would be that, once we have a dollar amount, millage would be easy. That would give us plenty of time.
All right.
But I would, if you want a motion, I guess I would make a motion that we direct the jail committee to provide the county board as soon as possible after July 29th with their best estimate of cost, including contingency for a new jail.
Is that agreeable to you, Commissioner Jensen?
Yes.
So a motion has been made or revised to include instructions to the jail committee to work with the rough order of magnitude numbers received by July 29th to work on the best estimate for jail construction, including contingency funds. Is there further discussion? We'll do a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Dickler.
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Ritz.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on then to item 9, the Raymond James proposal.
I guess just for a point of clarification, our advisor at the last several attempts to do a bond issue on the financing side was Stephen Roberts, who used to work for Robert W. Baird and Company, and then he has since switched to Raymond James and Company. Consequently, and he is very familiar with projects in the Upper Peninsula. Again, he does a lot of projects in Fulton County for municipalities, for school districts, and throughout the Upper Peninsula. And so I would certainly recommend that we approve the engagement letter with Raymond James as bond counsel, as far as if the bond is ever sold. There's no fee unless the bonds were approved by the voters. And then just to remind you, we also have Miller Canfield, which is our legal advisor, which also there's no fee unless the bond is ever approved. So my recommendation would be to proceed with authorizing, I'll make a motion that we authorize Chelsea, our county administrator, to sign the engagement letter with Raymond James in relation to a potential bond issue for the new jail.
Very good.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to authorize the administrator to sign the engagement letter with Raymond James. Is there further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Dickler.
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Ritz.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Anderson, for your legwork on getting this letter of engagement. We'll move on now to other business. Item 1 is the Western UP Planning and Development Region official notice for local units of government. Do we have someone here from Whooper? I don't think we do. Well, you have that notification in your packet. It's just for information purposes.
We direct our emergency department to respond to them. It's just a questionnaire.
Yeah.
Yes, my advice.
I'm going to put that in a motion, Glenn.
Sure. That we request our Office of Emergency Preparedness to respond to the questionnaire that Whooper is asking regarding a hazard mitigation plan for Hope County.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to direct our emergency services director to follow up with Whooper and fill out this questionnaire from Whooper. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. And next item is travel. We have a travel request from our building department and also our treasurer's department. What is your wish?
Mr. Chair, I see that all three requests are included in their department budget, so I make a motion that we approve all three.
Support. Motion made by Commissioner Jensen, supported by Commissioner Kiernan to travel all three travel requests. Those are budgeted items. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item is the appropriations. We have the Western UP Health Department quarterly appropriation for $69,106.50. We also have the Copper Country Mental Health appropriation of $13,707.91. And also Whooper's appropriation, $3,717.75. Take those individually or as a group.
Motion to approve all three, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Kiernan, supported by Commissioner Britz to approve all three appropriations. Is there further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. This brings us to item O, public comments. This is open public comments. We would ask that you speak from the podium. We do kindly remind you that we have zero tolerance for any profanity. Or if you're going to act up, you will be warned once, and after that, your time will have expired. With that, please.
Chairman Dickman.
Yes.
You would please ask them to print their name nicely on a piece of paper on the podium, so we have it for a minute.
If you don't object, let's record your name. It's the register is on the podium as you speak up to it.
Do we have someone keeping time?
Where's Paige?
There's.
You'll have 3 minutes. They'll get a 30-second warning. All righty. Thank you. And we appreciate your cooperation because it looks like there'll be some folks wanting to talk tonight. And we're doing our best to hear everyone. Please proceed.
Hello, I'm here to address Joel directly. My name is Lexi Tater. I've spoken to you a handful of times at this point, so there's no need to reintroduce myself. Your constituents are here today asking for your resignation. Your resignation would do wonders for our community. As a commissioner, it is your responsibility to stand up for people of all races, genders, sexualities, etc. And the list goes on. And if you're unable to do this, please do us a huge favor and resign. I know you see the news articles and the poster that I made. I reached out to Human Rights Invisible and other organizations. They shared my poster. So I want to say to you, as a human being, that humanness sometimes is about admitting you were wrong. I've made plenty of mistakes in my short 22-year-old lifetime, but nothing like the mistakes you've made. I've made plenty of mistakes, like I said, that I was shaken to my core truly that some in my community, you, were trying to erase false foreign policy for a resolution that you wrote in December. I was also shaken to my core when I learned that your actions over the 4th of July weekend, approving a float that mocks people of color and endorses immigration and custom enforcement. This behavior is highly unsettling, and it is frankly disgusting. We have a university here that brings in many international students and faculty. Our community is the most diversity across the peninsula. It is our duty as constituents to stand up for these folks, although our elected officials such as you choose not to. You're wasting all of our time and fuel. You do not belong here. Sure, hate speech is free speech, but it isn't acceptable. I understand that no one will be able to change your mind, as I've seen your Facebook comments that say go ICE go, under an article about Renee Good's cold-blooded murder by an ICE agent. I understand that you were sick in the head to publicly sit here and shame and promote violence and inhumane behavior, but this does not mean that you won't be held accountable for your actions. I also wanted to say there are resources available for your mental health. If you ever decide that you will be strong enough to seek help for your disturbing behaviors and actions, you have children who are looking up to you, and you have a community who's looking out for you, and a sense of urgent your resignation. I'm calling for your resignation, and I'm calling on other members of the community to ask yourself and ask about Joel if he is doing more harm than good in his position, or if he is using his position of power to target the vulnerable residents of our community. We will not wait for you forever to take your role seriously. Thank you.
I'm Sharon Floyd from Calumet, Michigan. I have known Joel since 1987. When I moved to the area, he was just 12, so it's been a long, long time. Joel is not racist. He's a kind, caring, and helpful person. I live in Joel's district. He's my commissioner. I'm for Joey. I want him to be my commissioner, as apparently most of his district does. In the last 2024 election, Joel received 75% in the primary and 66% in general. Most of the opposition to Joel that won him to resign probably aren't even from his district. Other students are unjustly vilified for political reasons, and they are doing their job enforcing a law passed by Congress. It's fine to have sympathy for illegal immigrants, but it just doesn't mean you let them all in. If you let lots of people stay in your house that aren't supposed to be there. The majority of the deportations are from Spanish descent, Central and South America. So if you're having an ICE flow, it makes sense to have that depicted. Why did we get so sensitive that people can't dress in a costume? Thank you, Joel and the other commissioners, for your service.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Steve Floyd. I've lived in Calumet for the last 39 years. I am not a busted left Canadian cashier. It's sad that we're here and not enjoying our beautiful power country, being expressed by the left to divide and silence the conservative Christian voice. Joel Karen is a hardworking, well-known and community member whom I've known for over 35 years, finds himself unfairly on trial, so to speak, not for his creative expression of creative parody, but for his desire to speak out against the liberalization and degradation of our society into Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by both righteous God. Daily Mining Gazette, Friday, July 10th, liberally leaning to the left as usual, published an article against Joel. Deeply slanted, they reported a flyer against him, calling for his resignation. It's sponsored by socialist-minded groups such as the Keelan Indivisible, the Keelan Mutual Aid Collective, and the Keelan Socialists. All any questions of Brady's motives, but quickly turning hateful, aiming at Joel's conservative values and theory. The article begins about a great flow of parody of ICE, a legitimate law enforcement agency yet turned to unfounded accusations of racism, xenophobia, white supremacy, then on to this motion in December to recognize that there are only two sexes, male and female. This isn't about Joel. This is about silencing the voice of conservative Christians through guilt, shame, ridicule, along with personal and familial attacks, effectively neutering conservative voices, a primary weapon of the left. While the left openly flaunts drag parades and other filth on our society in the quest for approval, they organize strongly against the protection of children, families, and borders by tearing down the borders and letting the U.S. be invaded. How many of you have illegal immigrants lounging on your couches and beds in your homes? Accuse your enemy what you are doing, or the strategy of projection As often attributed by Karl Marx or Joseph Goebbels, this is what's happening before our eyes. Joel's words in December about the two sexes were not his words, but those of God's. Ultimately, God is under attack here because the left doesn't like the truth, never has. This isn't about immigrants, let them come legally. Ephesians 6:12, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. This isn't about silencing just Joel and his only true concern.
30 seconds remaining.
It's about restraining good so that evil will prevail. We need more trolls on this commission. Thank you.
Commissioners, my name is Joan Chatty. I'm a neighbor of Joe Karen's. I live in Schoolcraft Township. I have lived in the Trout Rock Valley for 30 years now. I did attend the very first parade because it was in 2020 during COVID when the Lake Linden Village canceled their parade. I went back and I went online, looked, okay, does Lake Linden have any guidelines for what a float can contain? And no, they don't. But maybe we need to start instituting something like that because we know that at this point, our society is having a lot of friction. And I don't think that the 4th of July parade is the time for that. I would put out there like, really Trout Rock Valley is only 2-3 miles from Lake Linden. Like, why are they not part of the Lake Linden Community Parade? It's a wonderful parade and going on for decades and decades. So I am concerned because when we have a float like that, not everybody sees the distinction. And I don't really think there was a message there that needed to be made. Basically, we have ice, and if you look at some of the statistics, like more than 50 people have been killed in ice detention facilities. These people are not all guilty. They're being held until they actually have an opportunity to go to court. We have children in these ice detention facilities. We have lots of, unfortunately, they're not very often prosecuted or investigated, but lots of reports of rape. And I would not find that surprising, but no, I don't have specifics on that. So that's not really something I think we need to go into great detail in a 4th of July float. But I am concerned because we're vilifying people of color. And I look at my family. So my son's married to a woman who's from India. She's brown skinned. Now my grandson's brown skinned. My niece is married to a man from Venezuela, brown skinned. My other cousin, she's had a woman from Iran care for her aunt. I mean, like these people are part of our community. So I don't think it's easy to draw lines, and to have floats like that are just hurtful. So I hope that we can be proactive and prevent this from happening in the future. Thank you very much for listening.
Good evening, Chairman, Superintendent, Commissioners. I'm Teresa Kennedy. There's many people here tonight because of the Trout Rock Valley Parade controversy calls for Commissioner Joel Karen to resign. From everything that I've seen, and I know Joel is a very kind-hearted person, very quiet and not very involved with this, didn't have any involvement with the parade, yet still is being attacked, pressured to resign. This is unfair, sets a terrible precedent, pushing an elected official for something that he had no part of. How would you like that to happen to you? In December's meeting, when brought up the resolution, I was standing in the back. Many people got loud and boisterous in their comments back there over my conservative view. I, for one, spoke up, and Tom, that really is your job to speak up on that part. So, I had to speak up right away with motions running high, and again tonight, I respectfully ask the board to protect the commissioners from this baseless personal attacks and political pressures and political pressure campaigns that have nothing to do with official duties or violations of law that have been brought forward. Focus on real business of the county instead of allowing meetings to dominate by the outside agendas. Polk County residents deserve better than this kind of harassment for elected officials. Again, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Before we go to the next speaker, I wonder if we could relocate that register so that just put a chair out there or something for them to work off of, so that we don't have to waste time having, so we can get all these speakers through. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Dan Olson. I'm the chair of the Governor Public Party. I do want to kind of revise a sentiment that was mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, that I wish there was this many people here coming to petition our commissioners, basically talking about official business. Because our group actually went our way last year to put the floor space up and to, also increase the time so everybody can come here, petition our customer or petition our commissioners, because public comment is what really drives policy. But instead, I'm here addressing the outrage over the Trap Rock Valley 4th of July parade. The ice float was clear satire supporting border security and law enforcement, not racism or hate. Conflating enforcement of federal law with white supremacy is a tire smear for activist groups like QAnon Invisible and the Socialists. Parades have always featured political expression, whether you agree or disagree with them. Believe me, I know firsthand. The main Commissioner Joel Kerrigan's resignation because of a community event that served cancel culture overreach. Kerrigan answers to the voters in Polk County, not online mobs or partisan flyers. In America, we defend free speech, especially at community celebrations of our independence. And lastly, I'll leave it with this. As Alexander Hamilton warned, a nation which can prefer disgrace to danger is prepared for a master and deserves one. Today, we must choose from principle and free speech over the disgrace of yielding to activist outrage.
Good evening. My name is Eva Johnson, and I come here, Mr. Kernan, as a born-again Christian, but I also am an independent voter. Bear that in mind with what I'm about to say. When you mentioned that you were using your biblical principles to be able to have a voice, I respect that piece. But then the Bible says, love refugees as yourself. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, don't mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were the foreigners before. That's from Leviticus. God loves the foreigner residing among you. He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow, and he loves the foreigner residing among you, giving them food and clothing. And you are to love those who are foreigners, for you yourself were foreigners. Deuteronomy. Do not oppress a foreigner. Do not oppress a foreigner. You yourselves know how it feels to be foreigners.
May I please state that all of us in this room are foreigners. Unless you're Native American, you are a foreigner. Because you are foreigners. Exodus 23:9. Do not deprive foreigners among you of justice. So I will come to put you on trial. I'll be quick to testify against sorcerers, adulterers, and perjurers, against those who defraud laborers of their wages, who oppress the widows and the fatherless, and deprive the foreigners among you of justice. Do not fear me, says the Lord Almighty. Malachi. It goes on. It goes on. There are many, many scriptures which talk about Christ welcoming in a foreigner. Every single one of us came here as an immigrant at one point in our lives. My concern is, as a representative of our county, we have Tech, which has many, many, many foreign students, right? Do we serve in an inclusive way when we say something like the message that was portrayed for the 4th of July? Do we say you are welcome? I am an independent voter. This is
30 seconds remaining.
This is not political to me. It is from Christian values and biblical rights. Thank you.
My name is Christina Stella, and I don't have anything scripted, so here we go. But I have a lot of things to say, but I've been praying, waiting in my that I would speak God's words and not what I want to say to people who've spoken already. Surely we welcome foreigners among us, but foreigners who come here and kill Latin are not welcome here. And I don't even know if I pronounced the name correctly. I'm a mom. I have 15 children. 4 of my children are here tonight to represent you, Joel. Good job. I want my kids to grow up to be men like him. I put a lot of effort into my children, and I'm so grateful. I praise God that He's given them role models like Joel, people who can stand for something rather than just be these washed out people who say anything goes, it's fine, love it, it's all correct. We don't want people like that. I would trust them with a heart of love and say Jesus died for those things, and He called to Himself, but we don't embrace those beliefs. I'm very grateful that Joel has taken a stand and has been a man in America. We need people like that. I'm raising my kids that way. They're here today because they care, Joel, and they're faithful to stuff for them. And that's all I have to say.
Hello, my name is Eileen Homer and I live in Hancock. I'm raising my son here in a place where I grew up and I really love living in the UP. I am here tonight to voice my opinion on Joel Kiernan as a public servant serving on the Hogan County Board of Commissioners. When I think of Joel and what he represents for our community, the words that pop up are divisive, entitled, patriarchy, and accountability. Not ideal for someone who is supposed to represent the whole of their constituents, putting aside their personal agendas and rigid beliefs. In the patriarchy, the #1 rule, most important, is that a man is never held accountable for their actions. If they are challenged, it can be seen as oppression. If there are repercussions, it can even be seen as violence against the man himself. Thankfully, I would like to believe that the Hogan County Board of Commissioners were not run by a patriarchal belief system, and that we will be able to hold Joel accountable. The first time he should have been is when he tried to underhandedly pass Resolution 32, even though it defied actual science and was only introduced to erase and create unsafe spaces for many people. It was an embarrassing overreach of perceived power, but I'm grateful it opened up the community's eyes to who the Board of Commissioners are and what they do. In addition, he was the lone vote to South View, which was against the interests of the community he is representing. And I would like to ask what were his intentions. But most recently, and just as unsettling, is his endorsed float for a local 4th of July parade. He supported a float that glorified ICE and made light of their vicious violence against our non-white neighbors. The picture of the float is what I would use to portray Joel's character. I think of the 52 reported deaths within the detention camps and the 11 reported deaths involving ICE outside of the camps, and the hundreds of people who disappeared from the system. I think of the trauma and grief and brutal violence felt throughout the camp towards children and humanity. I think about how I somehow became judge, jury, and executioner in this timeline, all without any accountability or oversight. How is this humorous? How is this appropriate for a neighborhood vote? Can someone please explain the joke? I want to know when enough will be enough and how far is too far. It is disappointing that we are at this point, but I don't want to see what harmful idea Joel will come up with next if he continues to see no repercussions. As he continues to use his voice to demean, erase, and diminish our community members and neighbors.
30 seconds remaining.
I will continue to use my voice to lift them up. Life is too short to not call out people when necessary. Thank you.
Nancy Von Oliver, I've been in Polygon for 33 years. If I'm going to feel unsafe or threatened, it would be by kind of cultural Marxists who believe they have the right to do an unrun around first community by literally trying to bully an elected commissioner out of office. Now, if they want him out of office, there is a way to get a petition, have a recall started. I think a lot of people they might ask to sign it will laugh at them because this is nonsense, but that's the breaks. I am in support of a commissioner who supports the First Amendment. There is no reason for people who, because they feel they are virtuous and they've decided to be emotional about a vote. I didn't go to the parade, but I looked at the controversy, looked at the vote. It was fine. It supports ICE. And that is federal law enforcement. I do not support everything ICE has done, not by any means. There have been abuses, and I agree. But the idea that I can say, oh, you therefore can't support the idea of removing illegal immigrants from our country is insane. It's, if you feel emotional about something, you still don't have the right to say, we want to bully this guy out of office because we're the virtuous ones. First Amendment is a bedrock of human freedom. I'm not a born-again Christian. I don't share Joel's religious views. I just believe in America and freedom.
I'm Amber Campbell, Houghton, and I personally don't know Commissioner Joe, but after I heard what he did, I came to support him because his view, because the controversy I want to clarify. First, I'm also Christian, the lady who quoted the Bible. We should love the foreigners, but not foreigners. Yes, but God did set the boundary, and God didn't not say do not murder. A lot of those foreigners that are illegal. Remember that it's illegal. In Bible times, those are legal foreigners. It's welcome. And the second, currently, lots of the immigrants deported are the criminals, the worst of the worst. The congressional data said that 13,000 criminals, illegal criminals, murdered, committed murders. This is the congressional data. Even though there's there might be white cases, I didn't even see white cases, but I support ICE because I read the lady who was before me said you need to support the government. The government is doing for American safety. Not only, I have listed a few cases the illegal criminals did in this country. Rachel Morin case in Maryland, August 2023, was the first degree murdered by El Salvador national, kidnapping and raping, first degree murder. It's American citizen. And the Jocelyn Nongari case is in Texas, June 2024. two Venezuela nationals strangled a 12-year-old Jocelyn Benson in Houston. And the other one is Monica Iceland.
30 seconds remaining.
Okay, I'm just saying, to isolate, to connect, support ICE with racism is politics, cultural Marxism, the lady mentioned term. They put up the name together and try to connect, which have nothing to do with each other.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
Hello, my name is Kyle, and I am a constituent of District 2. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to the Board of Commissioners for the opportunity to speak tonight. I would like to extend before I extend my special shout out to Joel, I'd like to note the importance of threatening the press that rightfully treads on our freedom of speech. Everybody has that freedom, but you are willing to disrupt their happiness or in any way offset that balance. That's not it. But, you know, I'd like to extend a special shout out to Joel. Your continuation of being incompetent, xenophobic, bigoted, homophobic, racist. It's not only helped unify our shared communities against you, but you have also highlighted the individuals and the businesses in our community that support and share your hateful and divisive rhetoric. Now we know who to boycott and how to spread that knowledge. I'm not surprised to see your name in the news again for further spreading division and hate. However, I am confused as why you still hold your publicly elected position as commissioner. Is it because your hateful and ignorant views are shared in this room? Or is it because you're a spineless coward who rather embrace hateful pressures than stand up and do the role their community elected them to fulfill? Your actions only amplify the hate and pain that you inflict daily on our communities. I, as one of your constituents, am asking you to fulfill your duty as a commissioner to cease romanticizing the murderous hate group that is ICE and to dispel the hate that you've woven into this community. If these things cannot be met, I'm calling for you to resign as a commissioner of District 2 and to not seek any other public office moving forward. Thank you for hearing me.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, what was his last name? He said Kyle, he didn't mention his last name. Would Kyle tell us his last name?
No, I don't think I did.
Hello, my name is Solana Skubik. I reside in District 2 of Fulton County, the district Joel Kiernan represents. I'm here to publicly call for Joel Kiernan to resign from his position as county commissioner. I want to remind you all that if you are not 100% descended from the indigenous peoples of this land, then you are descended from immigrants. That includes you, Joel. When I saw the photo of the parade float you approved at the event that you helped organize, I was appalled. Making caricatures out of any ethnic group like that floated is incredibly racist. Glorifying a violent paramilitary organization that is quite literally murdering people, non-citizens and citizens alike, is a bad look. Knowing that you are apparently okay with both of those things certainly does not make me feel safe or supported with you as my district's commissioner. I can only imagine how your non-white constituents feel. You are entitled to your own opinions and ideals, and we as your constituents are entitled to react to those opinions and ideals if you choose to put them in the public eye, especially if you begin allowing those opinions and ideals to influence how you conduct yourself as a commissioner, which you have, first by introducing Resolution 32 December of last year, and now by promoting the pro-ICE float at the Track Rock Valley Parade. I think it's also worth noting that you were the sole vote in support of selling off Canal, Fulton's only non-privatized public care facility, and the only VA contracted facility in the entire Upper Peninsula. You were elected to serve your constituents, all of your constituents, regardless of race, age, gender identity, or citizenship status. Your track record is showing that you're more concerned with private interests, creating divisiveness, and spreading hateful rhetoric than you are actually serving your constituents. Joel, do the respectable thing for once and resign. Thank you.
My name is Shannon. Joel is fortunately my commissioner. First of all, it was nice of the council to allow you as much time as you'd like to read a statement covered with backhanded insults and inaccuracies, and it clearly showed your hypocrisy. It also tells me you've yet to learn that hate speech is not free speech. That's not how it works, Joel. Commissioner Kiernan, you claim to represent the people of Hogan County best interests, guided in this by a life that espouses Christian values. Serving out the knowledge of your actions. I see no good Samaritan. You made it pretty clear that you don't represent us all. Your election was no mandate to impose your heavy-handed beliefs on the entire county, despite your repeated lie that your founder's Christian mission, your infantile definition of church and state. I struggle to understand how selling our elder care facility to fund a jail on property purchased questionably with no public support fits into any biblical belief system that demands care and respect for our elderly population. You have belittled and ostracized residents of this county through disingenuous and polarizing politics for far too long. It's how you do the honorable thing every time. Should we name your actions? Improper accounting and use of ARPA funds, scientifically inaccurate and meeting resolutions no one has asked for, attempts to sell public use facilities like Canalview and our marina feel like retaliation for you not getting your way with the jail proposal. Suggesting bear be hunted in the residential area, and now publicly supporting racial stereotypes while ICE perpetrates violence against immigrants and citizens alike. No matter what your prepared statement claimed, you're involved with this parade. You advertised it as being free from politics online, but what you really meant was free from any politics that you don't agree with. And then you featured this disgusting photo on your kitchen table. You knew what you were doing. You've divided our county for long enough. We no longer have need for your bias and bigoted public service. Perhaps you can use your newfound downtime to actually read the Bible, since you claim to live a biblical life. Because you and I clearly didn't read the same book, and your words rang hollow compared to your actions. Your statement, you said we should be talking about county matters. This is a county matter. And once you're gone, maybe we can get back to running the county in the best interest of every resident versus the chosen few you represent. To call this not a county business is quite frankly insulting, Jill. Resign. Your services are left to right. You're no longer needed. It's not just your poor choices at this parade. It's all you do. It's time to take your ball and go home. My name is Kate Casillas, and over 170 U.S. citizens have been wrongfully detained by ICE. Many ICE detention centers have been reported with an inadequate amount of food, water, and medical attention, deeming these conditions downright inhumane. In 2025, 33 fellow humans died inside an ICE detention center, with 18 deaths just this year in May. There are over 300 cases of sexual assault, violence, and rape in ICE detention centers. In fact, a guard at Brazil ICE detention center was sent to federal prison because he raped a detainee. A pregnant woman in an ICE detention center begged for additional medical attention, but was ignored for 3 days. After the third day of begging and pleading, was she brought to the hospital that determined her baby had died inside of her. Nobody is laughing here, Joel, because these are facts, and they are not funny. Imagine bringing up being so sensitive when these fellow humans die. I'm not sure if you grew up with the do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Others meaning fellow humans, not just extending to your own skin color. I know small town racism when I see it because I'm a Hispanic youper that grew up in Michigan. Political satire is one thing,
but this float was just racist. My culture is not your costume. Never thought I'd get to say that, but here we are. Parades are a time to celebrate what their community values, bringing light and fun festivities to the community. What fundraisers have you worked on this year? Let's talk about those instead. There have been cases in the UP where white high school students are calling ICE on fellow Latin American classmates as a joke. Encouraging this teenage bullying behavior is shameful as a representative to this community because this is textbook bullying. A lot of bullies never grow up. If you do,
30 seconds remaining.
if your goal here on earth is to get into heaven, I hope that you know that there's not an all-white section. Thank you.
Is known around the world to attribute tolerance and diversity. It has been a definitive mark to assure that everyone has a right to speak up and express their views. But we do have to be cautious. With generations coming and going, there has been a rift in the American. We now have liberal and conservative sides. With that rift, some core essences have been and or will be forgotten. In light of this, just as conservatives across America have been tolerant to liberals' ideas and beliefs, I want to ask the liberals to extend the same tolerance to those who disagree with them. We can live in this community and disagree, but we can still love and care for one another. And disagreement is at the core of an American freedom. In saying that, so I want to tell everyone present, the commissioners, that the goal gives the community, and that we shouldn't force resignation. Someone whose convictions don't line with ours. Joel Karen represents so many citizens of Fulton County, including myself. This isn't about racism with this vote. It's about legal immigrations. I have no disposition towards legal immigrants. Come legal.
I don't have any prepared notes here. I was here to speak actually because of Joel's false claim that people coming to protest him today are solely outside agitators or cultural Marxists, which is a phrase that means nothing to me. It's said only on Fox News. However, I am a constituent of District 2. I am Joel's district. I'm a resident of Dollar Bay. I recognize me. I was here before. And I'm really, really ashamed to say that Joel is my hero. That's really embarrassing. That is what people believe is something to fear. When I saw that float, which was taken down, which of course stood by it, I don't know why it was deleted. But when I saw that float, it was the only term I came up with looking at these people in ponchos and hats was it's a racist caricature. It's a couple steps down from having a KKK float. It's absurd. We have no place in our community for that level of hatred, that level of diminishment of the violence that has occurred here. That isn't satire. Satire punches at power. That was bullying. That was racism. That was not funny. And the people who say it's funny, I notice, are certain colors. So it's a little hard to ignore that. It's a little hard to ignore that every year we have the Parade of Nations attack. We have a vibrant international community, and every year, so that every year we celebrate that diversity, and how, despite that, this county is overwhelmingly white, and that's going to remain the same. And sadly, I think people like Joel would prefer it that way, but that's not the way America is going. America is a melting pot. When I see flags of Finland, when I see flags of Sweden here, I don't feel any ill will. I'm proud that they are immigrants too. I'm an immigrant as well. My family is a family of immigrants. But we need to celebrate everybody, and that isn't celebration, that is division. And I think, honestly, it is intentional from Joel. It's creation of a sideshow, so he can sort of fuel this bizarre victim mentality he has. where he gets everyone really riled up and upset. So one or two people say something irresponsible, and then you cry about it here. But the truth is, hatred in a place of power is different than just random unstable people leaving a voice message. He is in a position of power, and he should be standing up for everybody, not just white Christians, not just Asian white Christians. Time. My God is the God of love.
Hello, my name is Shondell Smarko, from Yancock. Joel, I'd like to actually talk with you directly if I could. If you could look at me while I talk to you, you seem really on board by most of these proceedings. I think that I think that the message that you played in the beginning of this whole thing was horrendous, and that's really sad that somebody would come at you with that hate. But I think that the whole point here is that the hate is wrong. And when I saw that float, I wasn't in Trap Rock, but when I saw that float, all I saw was hate too. It didn't have anything to do with biblical, messages or anything that you claim to believe in. It seemed to be all about hate. And I don't think that there's a place in the Kevanaugh for that hate. And I think that that division is wrong. And let me remind people, George Washington, one of the three things he warned us about was hyper-partisan and fighting amongst one another. We need to all get along. We live in the same country. I wish we didn't have damn parties because it divides us. But you're supposed to represent everybody, Joel. You can't even look at me in the face while I talk to you. That picture was taken down on Facebook by your group, probably because you knew it was wrong. It was hateful and it was divisive. You can't serve part of the community, and it seems like these shenanigans are attention getting. Thank you. They're attention getting because you want to run for a bigger office and you want to have a show. But the county's money is wasted. Like with that resolution 32 with the two sexes, I mean, medically it was just wrong, and it's not your place or anybody on the council's place to decide that. It was a show and it wasted everybody's money. I know you guys wanted to switch the meetings to 10 a.m., but boy, when you have something like that and we're here till midnight, it's a show. It just doesn't have a good place in politics. And the other thing is I'm glad that, you have a faith, and I would never come to attack you on that faith. But there's something called the separation of church and state. God doesn't legislate the people. So you need to make sure that you understand the difference between your faith and how you legislate. And do some soul searching and start legislating for everybody, because it's all of us, we the people, for the people, by the people. I'm not sure that you can do that though, so for many reasons, I also believe you should resign or recount review or whatever we call it. That would be expensive. So why don't you save the county money and stop spending it, do the right thing. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you.
Joel Kiernan is the commissioner for the district, and I'm glad he is. Been a lot of lies spread today, so let's get a few of the facts straight. Joel didn't make the vote. It's sad to see how many people are hiding in this community that so much hate. Disgusting hate towards one person and his family, towards his wife, towards his kids. Any of you dealt with that type of commentary? If they wish ill will, death to you, to your family. You think about the things that you say. So again, thank you, Joel. Thank you all the commissioners for being able to have the courage to be in a full position. Now you can all have different opinions. Joel, I thank you for your opinion, your perspective. I have to say, I'm gonna share one more thing. Romans 13:1. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist are judgment. Rulers are not a terror, and good conduct that's bad. If you have no fear for the one who is in authority, then do what is good, and you will receive his approval. For he is God's servant for your good. Another thing I'd like to say, come here legally. Everyone is fine with that. Simple as that.
District 5, actually, residents in district. So again, a lot of people have been addressing Joel Kennedy this evening, either for or against. And I would like to actually speak to the rest of the board this evening. Mr. Anderson, Mr. Jensen, Mr. Fritz, and Mr. Dugan. Although maybe I'll come back to Joel later. In December of this past year, I was in Liberia, West Africa, actually, where I'm serving as a missionary. And I heard about a piece of legislation, I guess, that was starting in the 8th year, that would essentially define the genders as being male and female, for maybe lack of better information on that. It was a very simple piece of legislation as far as I understand. I was disappointed. Maybe disappointed is a small word to use. And our commissioner, Mr. Fritz, did not have the I don't know, I'll say that. I don't know what it was that prevented him from coming alongside Mr. Kiernan and voicing his support for that. Just to make a simple statement that what we have in this world are male and female. Again, we have to be male and female. I don't know whether it was courage or something else that prevented Mr. Fritz from coming alongside. However, Mr. Fritz, I was disappointed. I guess I could just put it that way, mildly. That you did not have the courage to come alongside and make this simple statement. Also, the rest of the board. I don't know what you guys were looking at or thinking about during that time, but you should have made that decision at that time. And it should have been unanimous. Most of the decisions this evening were unanimous. 5 yeses, 5 yeses, about financial things and so on. When it came to something simple, something biblical, something fundamental like that, then there was a breakdown where one man went one way and 4 people went the other way, for whatever reason it was. I encourage the balance of the board, the rest of the board, to carefully consider where your priorities are and also how that will look before God's judgment fire. Because this evening is it, as you do this evening, anyway, Mr. Karen, I do appreciate you a lot for the stand you did take in December. I was not here, as I said, I was in West Africa at that time. But I think we'll be able to be here publicly this evening to tell you.
30 seconds.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you for being my commissioner. Spreading lies.
Can you speak into the mic? We can't hear you, sir.
Is that better?
Little.
To everybody who's spreading lies and making threats against Joel, I don't know what's motivating that, but that's not what communities do to each other. Just simply said, you don't have to agree with them, but don't threaten them very badly. Political, but I'm not gonna just don't divide over something as simple as a American 4th of July slogan. So, thank you, Joel.
Hello, my name is Hannah, I'm running the county, and been trying to think about exactly what to say here because I come from a family of immigrants, friends, and immigrants, who was a refugee, and I've heard a lot about like general like impacts, ISIS, things, really vague stuff about specific situations. I'm here to share about some people I know who are in my life who have been personally impacted by ICE. I live in this area and I love living here, and I spent 4 years living in Minneapolis. My brother was their friend. I have a friend who's a teacher at an elementary school, but her students have had to stay home because they are not white, not because they're not citizens, for fear of them or their parents being detained by ICE. She was in the district where they bullied him. A little boy from my hat was taken violence against any person, because we all basic dignity and care. I have a friend who has had to organize for her parents to make sure that her childcare, her Spanish immersion childcare, is not targeted. They take turns taking on board guarding outside of the childcare in Minnesota. My brother now has an 8-month-old baby who is in a Spanish immersion preschool, and we hope that none of his caregivers are targeted. My brother's coworker happened to be going for coffee this morning, and I was afraid he was killed and was witnessed at this time. If you want to get more local than that, I have a friend who is half Finnish like me, a Uber, fourth generation, fifth generation, goes way back from the last line, who, because the other half of her ancestry is non-white, has been asked for her papers by ICE in Marquette, like citizen, multi-generational. I have another friend who's a Uber, fifth generation, who has a cousin living in another state whose spouse was recently detained at a like procedural normal immigration hearing. This person has been a legal immigrant, so if you think it's about being legal, it's not. They've been following the law, going to all the proceedings for a decade. They have had to be highly vetted because they adopted 30-second citizen with their spouse. And this person has gone missing in ICE detention. And they are my friend's cousin. These are not, like, if you feel like you haven't heard about any of this, I'm just one person in this county. These aren't even all the people that I know of who have been directly impacted by ICE. And so that's what I have to say. I don't know where my family, like the only person in my family who I know their immigration story came over because they bribed a Russian jet or a Russian jailer and we time. Thank you.
Only Hancock. You know, the first time in 50 years I got a chance to get to the Trap Rock Valley was just last week. Even bought the t-shirt. And it's a lovely place. And I'm glad it's part of the QAnon. There's a lot of very independent people there, and I understand that feeling. And I have to say that, to surprise of some people, I actually agree with Joel on some things. I am a free speech absolutist. At the very least, if you let people talk and find out who the idiots are. Now, I disagree on one other thing. Democracy is not easy. I just took an entire course on political philosophy at Tech, and boy, can you get into all sorts of nuances. But democracy is not Christian. Our government was not based on Christian values. Matter of fact, our democracy was based partially on the Iroquois Confederation, which Benjamin Franklin talked about. And in fact, they didn't even take all of the good parts because the women would be running things if we did. Which I think would probably be much better than some of the testosterone poisoned antics that I've seen. The other thing is our democracy is also based on Greek thought. Ancient pagans, Socrates, Aristotle. And Aristotle had a lot of things to say that were actually appropriate now. But the other thing I agree with Joel on is I believe in the Constitution. It's a great document. I believe in the amendments. How many people here believe in the Constitution? Yeah, look at this. There's a lot more that unites us than divides us, folks. It's how we get there. It's how we get to working this government, how we get to working with each other. Look at the great example of Pocket Shores that just happened. People clap for that. I always want to clap for it. We need to take care of each other. This divisiveness is partially, if you look at the history,
30 seconds.
Induced by all the rich bastards who are trying to take over our government and influence it. People who don't have to put up with everyday struggle. Look at the money that's flowing into politics, folks. Bezos and Musk and all of those others that are buying up politicians. Folks, there's more that unites us than divides us. So I want you to think about that. We don't need divisiveness.
Judy Chiswick. Local government is hard work. Thank you for those of you who are willing to put your worldviews forward and allow the voters to choose you to sit on this commission. Local parades are hard work too. And I can't imagine anyone being able to know ahead of time every aspect of every float and expect to control it. There are parades I do not go to in this local area because I don't appreciate their worldview. If you don't like a parade or you don't like a float, you get to boo for that float. If you like it, you can cheer for it. That is what we do. If you disagree with a commissioner that's here, you have the right to run against them and put your worldview up against them as well. Thank you for putting your worldviews out and allowing us to vote or not vote for you.
Amber Campbell, I just come to clarify something. I believe that.
Huh?
If this you cannot speak second time, it just says 3 minutes.
Ma'am, just let me step in. Let me step in, and I have control of this meeting. Now you can quit speaking, or you can step to the end of the line. She's spoken already. I'm going to give her an opportunity to speak when everyone else has, but she has spoken earlier.
Okay, now I'll wait. I'll be the last one.
Sometimes speech has to be regulated. It isn't always free, huh?
Hey, lady.
Right.
Is that directed at me in general?
No, I mean just in the.
Well, yeah, one more outburst.
I meant it as a good thing.
As a God-fearing American who has served to protect the interests and your right for speech, you can keep that to yourself or step up to the podium again when you get a chance. Got it? Good. Proceed.
Chairman Tippinen and Commissioners. My name is Heather Mraz. I was born and raised in Houghton County, and I now live in District 5. I also serve on the Keweenaw Municipal Leadership Team. I'm here to ask Commissioner Joel Keranen to resign. Commissioner Keranen, 7 months ago, you introduced a resolution that attempted to erase the existence of transgender, non-binary, and intersex people in our county. Then you cast the board's only vote in favor of it. More recently, the parade you organized included a float that turned one of the most painful and divisive issues in our country today into entertainment. Regardless of where anyone stands on immigration policy, turning the suffering of families into a joke is profoundly cruel and morally indefensible. As the organizer of that parade, you bear responsibility for the message that float conveyed. Its inclusion demonstrated profoundly poor judgment. Taken together, these incidents reveal a pattern that is incompatible with representing the diverse people of our country. One incident involved your conduct in office, the other did not, but both speak directly to the judgment you bring to public office. That is significant because your decisions affect every resident of our county. Reasonable people can disagree on public policy, but I would hope we can agree that our elected officials must treat every member of our community with dignity. Your repeated actions have fallen far short of that standard. Houghton County deserves better from its elected leaders. Commissioner Keranen, I respectfully ask that you resign. Thank you, commissioners, for your time and service to Houghton County.
My name is Keith Johnson. I'll be honest with you. I've been listening to these folks. God. I look at, and Joel, this is dealing with you. Can you please look at least toward the individual which is talking to you? Do you have that skill set? That's not. This is my point. I have one woman over here taking photographs of a kid going out. Who is she? Who the hell knows? I don't know. What is she gonna do with the photo of this individual? Don't know. We do not need any more diversity problems here. We don't need any more division here. I understand that you folk, on this side in particular, the ones buried in the bleach, like me, what? Don't like diversity. You really don't. I had a white kid turn around, shoot my adopted child with a pellet gun from a moving vehicle on the street. Called the police, they ignored it. Called the county sheriff, they blew it off. Called one of these guys, not home. Not a damn thing was done. The color. It's sad. It is so damn sad. I mean, I thought it was bad when I was a kid. My God, the tables in high school. It was insane. Also, no offense, the greater majority of your income for this city comes from that college. Do you not realize you're basically biting the hand that feeds you? Do you not see this? I mean, if you do, God, you're worth than what I got. I thought, I mean, I don't get it. The rationale isn't here. Yeah, you know what? You probably should resign because you can't even meet someone's eyes. You can't even look up. If it was my child, I'd be thumping you in the back of the head and saying, look up.
30 seconds.
Yeah. The thing is, you can't meet someone's eyes. Why? Because you're not pleased with what you did. You are not happy with what you did. Because it didn't affect you the way you wanted it. Someone on this board, you guys need to talk with him. Is he going to resign? No. But you are also responsible for this.
Time.
I'll be done in a second.
No, you're done now.
No.
It's next speaker.
You
Sheriff, Sheriff,
You do need to do this.
yeah, your time is up and you can step aside.
Coffee.
All right, hey, Joel, you must be a great con artist and actor because, let's see, I have two granddaughters. One's Chinese American, and the other one, her father's black. And he loves them just like all his other nieces and nephews. Isn't that amazing? Hard to believe, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of crap sent his way. It's too bad. Anyway, I got something to read from a friend, Joel, who didn't come here probably because of December. And when you love somebody, you just don't want to listen to crap thrown at them for hours, sit through this crap. Anyway, this is what she said. I have some things to say about Joel. First and foremost, mostly he loves the Lord and his Savior and puts everything in his hands, whether it is good or bad. He is a loving, caring, God-fearing husband to a beautiful wife and a dad of 5 awesome kids, many dogs, cats, cows, and chickens. He is financially and physically cared for his parents for many years, especially in their old age. He has opened his home up literally and has other families living home alongside his family for more years than anybody knows. I lived with him for like 4 years in the basement, so I know. He has walked alongside my family during some of the hardest days of our lives when it would have been easy for him to walk away. He is generously is widespread and very impactful, but far beyond scenes and the only, I'm sorry. He genuinely is widespread and very impactful, but so far behind the scenes that only he and the person who benefits from his kindness knows. Some of his best friends think and believe the complete opposite of him, yet he remained friends with them for decades. Oftentimes, they're the first to call when they need help. He loves people. Families of no relation have trusted and requested for him to be a guardian that he is of their loved ones. One of my favorite things about him is he would, without a doubt in my mind, meet any one of the people that have
30 seconds.
tried to tear him and shred him apart. The best part is leading his family and stewarding them in the same way. All you need to do is have one conversation with Joel to see that he is the furthest from the names that you are calling. So keep up the good work, Fred.
My name is Tracy Testa. I am not a public speaker. I am shaking right now up here. I do not want to speak. To come up here, support Joel and people like Joel. Because this nonsense over a frickin' parade float that got people's panties in a bunch is ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous, okay? Everybody is different. If we're all the same, it would be completely boring. I disagree with you, some of you disagree with me. That's fine. But I don't go and attack your view. I don't come after you and try to get you to step down. I don't try to get you to get kicked off of volunteering. I don't do that. I just look the other way and I may speak my opinion, but I don't go against you people. And this nonsense of just attacking people that you don't agree with, that's not an end. That is not fair and that is not right. And I support Joel 100%, and I support people that support Joel 100%. Thank you.
Sisters. My biggest statement is agree to disagree. The person that said we have to be tolerant of something we don't believe, but yet they're not tolerant of something they don't believe. It has to go both ways, and that stops the divisiveness. I don't agree with you, you don't agree with me. Let's agree to disagree. I have many friends that we disagree. That's okay. You can be friends. There's no difference. The male and female. It's right in the Bible. God created man and woman, male and female, he created them. You can have anomalies, you can have different extra chromosomes, like I said, there's many different things. But you're either male or female, and like I said, there's adaptations or anomalies to it, but it's okay, you're still male or female. Like I said, it says it in the Bible, God created, and I totally support my brother. The ones that are speaking against him, 95% of them have never had a conversation with him, don't know him. He had a student that was from Haiti living in this house for a year, but he's racist, so you can't have a Haitian living in your house. You must have hated her, you must have treated her horribly. No, she comes to visit him with her husband and child many times. Almost, she's our family. You're not racist. You're saying we're racist, doesn't mean that we are. Be tolerant of each other. It goes both ways. You want us to be tolerant of you, you be tolerant of us. The way we believe, we'll be tolerant of you. Agree to disagree instead of spewing all the names and calling down and resignation. Just agree to disagree. It's very simple.
Hello, I'm Jerome Nemo from Chasso. I think I was the last one here in December when it was almost midnight. Second to the last, I'm not sure. But I still support that there are only two kinds of people, male and female. And I support Joel. I don't believe he had anything to do with that vote. A lot of you, or some of you do agree that that happened, but I don't agree with it. Stay the course, Joel.
I'm a resident of Fulton County, and I am a local organizer for Organizers United. This obviously is about the Trap Rock Valley Parade, which has been said. I'd like to help the board and public interpret the efforts. First off, I will state that I do wholeheartedly support that Mr. Kiernan has a right to say and perform his justice. Within the rights of America. That is obviously stated. However, his First Amendment rights cannot or should not prevent the community from speaking out against what he says or stands for. It is, after all, just as much their First Amendment rights as Americans. So make no mistake, despite what some say, this is not really a battle over free speech. What's happening here is that is an opportunity for people to talk about behavior and the image of our county. An opportunity for people to say to the world that this is not who we are. This is not who you are. It is our responsibility here to children, for state, and for our country. Back to the parade. Can we think of ICE as laughing matter? After all, it is just a joke, just a parade, just a float. Let's provide some context. Yesterday morning, ICE agents shot and killed Johann Sebastian Guerrero in Maine, who leave behind a wife and a 3-year-old daughter. Last week, ICE agents shot and killed Lorenzo Soldado Araujo. He leaves behind a construction business with 3 children of his own. You can laugh because it's funny. Because Luis Sebastian and Lorenzo weren't our names. They weren't our fathers. Those 4 kids aren't our kids. All right? Believe it or not, I was raised as a conservative Republican here in the Caucasus. I still remember what that used to mean. It used to mean community values and traditions. It used to mean support for a strong military and careful fiscal planning. It didn't mean public exploitation of a time of fear or a laugh. Our commissioners, our board, deserve professional conduct. And the eye is always on us as elected officials. That job doesn't stop when we meet this board.
30 seconds.
This county deserves professional conduct. The kind of conduct that I've seen out of the other commissioners here in my short time involved. We can do that because this conduct is not who we are. It's not who you are. Thank you.
My name is Sarah. I don't even want to get into my thoughts on actually the topic of tonight. I have very strong thoughts. They've all been said by one person or another. I think they're said very well. But what I do have to say is not only to Commissioner Joel, is to everyone in this room, I bet you we're going to get about 90%. Raise your hand if you were here for the Father's Day flood. Come on, raise your hand. Are you here, Father's Day plus? I know you guys are raising your hand. I bet you everyone's here. This is an invitation and a reminder. It has nothing to do with what side I'm on, nothing. The Father's Day flood happened. And if any of you were involved in helping or needed help or anything, what I witnessed as a person who helped, great sunrise, sundown, with everybody, all of you people, we all came out together. We worked side by side. Nobody gave I'm going to say a swear word, nobody cared whose side anyone was on, who someone voted for, nobody cared. Because who we are as people, we care about each other. We help each other. I know any one of you right here, if you're driving the winter and you see someone who needs help, I know you'll stop. You're not going to ask, are they gay? Are they liberal? Are they conservative? Nobody cares. Those things don't matter. When people need help, we help each other. Everybody does. This is an invitation to cut the division. Everyone should have their own opinions about anything. It is how we treat each other. And you can talk about the Bible or not. And both have it in it about simple golden rule. That's it. Probably possible. That it's that simple. We waste so much time and energy, so much pain, so much hurt over this division. This ridiculous division. Because we're all the same people that help each other. This is an invitation. We need to do better as a country, as a community, because we are better. We love each other. Sorry, Father's Day flood. I don't know what you all witnessed. I know I have needed help before, not related to the flood. I've had people come and help me, and I find out who they are later. It might be someone way against my beliefs, but they helped me. That's what matters. That is what matters. I know. Hey, Joe, just do me a favor, look at me real fast, please. I'm not gonna yell at you. If you invite me
Your
to
time has expired. Sorry, your time's up.
I've got 5 people waiting online.
Okay.
Hello, I just came up here for attention. Just kidding. So are there any parade floats that you would reject? I guess that's my question. Because basically the free speech warrior over here said you could have as many offensive floats as you want. You know, because he's free speech absolutist. So take that to heart, everybody. You can go ahead and at the next parade, create the most offensive float you can possibly think of, and you have him to thank for it. He endorses your right, so go ahead.
My name is Levi Madison, and I'm just sitting in this room and just seeing pain. And there's pain on both sides, there's struggle on both sides. And I really appreciate, like, hey, let's come together. I've known Joel since we got kicked out of junior church, and so when we were little kids. And I will tell you, he's one of those people, he holds to what he believes is true, just like everyone else. And the reason you walk up here and say, hey, I don't agree with you, Joel, because you believe something else is true. He believes in these things. I will also tell you, Joel and I would sing a song, red and yellow, black and white, they're all precious in his sight. And Joel would be the first one to tell you the truth of this. Jesus loves you. Absolutely loves you. He cares about you. Whether you agree with that or not, he would tell you that, and he would want you to know who Jesus is. That's his Lord and Savior. That's Joel. And so, man, I see the thing. I see both sides of this thing, and I'm going, how do we come together? We don't see probably politically the same. We don't see things politically. He was Jewish, and so you're correct. He did have tan skin. You're right. How do we come together? You know, I think you have conversations. I will tell you, Joel will have a conversation. He's probably not going to agree with everything you say. He might tell you, hey, under Obama, 67 people were killed in detention centers. Or he might tell you something else because he's actually, he plays the dumb Uber thing sometimes when I'm around him. He's actually wicked smart. But being smart isn't his thing. He is one of the most kind and caring people I've ever met. The first time I went to help him, and he owned funeral business. Weirdest thing that he's ever asked me to do with him. To go to somebody's house, broken, mourning the loss of somebody. He walks in there, the kindest person, puts his hand on them, and says, hey, can I just pray with you? I don't know if this person knew Jesus, knew God, knew anything. They, of course, said, yeah. And he just spent time with them. We helped him, and most respectful guy I've seen. I will also tell you this about Joel. He will tell you he is a sinner. A dirty, rotten sinner just like the rest of us. And he will tell you that if you ask him. He makes mistakes, he does things wrong. And he'll tell you that. But he has a Lord and Savior that's forgiven his sins, and he'd want you to know that too. So, thank you.
I'm retired military and retired civil servant. I wore military uniform either full-time or part-time for 33 years. I love this country. I love the Constitution. I love the Bill of Rights, especially the First Amendment. Those of you who are offended by the First Amendment, may I suggest a place like Iran? You'd like it there. They don't have it. Thank you.
I live in Oregon. I just want to thank Joel for standing up what I think that it's hard to take these positions and to be where you guys are at this board. And I thank all of you for really standing up for what you believe in, even if none of us agree on all of your positions. I thank you for standing up for speaking truth and for saying that positions that you will not negotiate. Because that's the type of people that we need standing up here in our county, in our state, in this country. Thank you, and I would just love to show some support for all of the people up
there. Hold on. We have people that have been waiting online.
Could be up first.
Can everybody hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Lynn Barrett. I am a resident of District 2, Houghton County. I was born here and I'm the daughter of a former District 2 county commissioner. Because of my dad's example, I know the value of separating your personal beliefs with your humble service to everyone in our county as a commissioner. I was here in late 2025, and I am here again tonight to formally request Joel Kieranen's resignation as our Houghton County Commissioner for District 2. Elected officials hold a fragile public trust, which carries the profound responsibility of serving the best interest of the community with integrity and transparency. In light of Mr. Kieranen's continual disruption of the true role of the county commission, I believe he is not able to effectively represent our district or county and cannot uphold the duties of his office. Commissioners and other elected officials are never off duty, including a national holiday. What you say and do has a huge impact on the future growth and sustainability of life in the Copper Country. What you do spreads like wildfire on the internet and sheds a terrible light on the place we call home. We have important things to accomplish: clean drinking water, sewer systems, our county employees and their retirement, a new county jail, mental health services, recovering from the Father's Day flood, tourism, safe roadways, and the decades-long discussion about what we do if something happens to the Portage Lift Bridge. Public servants must be held to a high standard of accountability. They are called to serve everyone. The constituents of Houghton County deserve leadership that commands confidence and focuses entirely on the needs of the public. By stepping down immediately, Mr. Kiernan would be acting in the best interest of our community at large and allow our local county government to move forward. I urge Mr. Kiernan to listen to the constituents and tender his resignation immediately. Thank you.
This is Ash.
Hello, my name is Ashley Bergeron. I am a constituent of Joel Kiernan. I'm not here to address him, nor am I here hoping anything I say will change his mind. As far as I'm concerned, his comments here tonight and his previous statements and actions have shown me the caliber of his leadership and humanity, and I don't consider asking him to resign, though I will at the end, worth any of our time. However, there are a couple things I want to point out for other citizens and leaders in this room, and I'm very grateful that everybody is here tonight, has spoke tonight, very passionate, and for the leaders in the room, I'm grateful that you've set this time for us. One of the most important things that I want to say is who you are now is not who you need to be forever. Sometimes we go along with things even when we know that they're wrong. Sometimes we laugh at jokes that we shouldn't. We turn away from other people's pain because they don't look like us or they don't have the same life that we do. We convince ourselves that the people who are suffering ask for it in some kind of way. Sometimes we do this because we're afraid that our friends won't like us anymore if we don't laugh at the same things that they do. This is the behavior of school children. We all want to believe in a just world, but we don't live in one. We have to create one. And part of that is holding our leaders accountable for their actions when they step outside the bounds of acceptable behavior. Now, we could talk about immigration or for some reason rehash the thing that there's only two sexes, which there isn't. There are intersex people. My God, Google, please. 6,200 children have been booked into detention during Trump's second term, and these are not criminals. 73% of those held in ICE detention don't have any criminal convictions. It was wrong during the Biden administration. It's wrong now, and it's wrong that our commissioner has done something and has approved something that was so blatantly racist that I was flabbergasted. To quote Canadian author Omar El Akkad, one day when it's safe, when there's no personal downside to calling a thing what it is, when it's too late to hold anyone accountable, everyone will have always been against this. Again, I don't expect to change anybody's minds tonight. Supporters of Karen talk about God and freedom of speech, and it's just a joke, 30 seconds. Like those things are a shield against criticism. And Karen is welcome to have his own views, but when he's representing this county, he should hold himself to a higher standard. It's accountability. It's not bullying. It's not harassment. It's accountability. It's not just white Christians that visit the Keweenaw and bring their tourist money. It's not just white Christians that live here and pay taxes. It's not just white Christians who attend Michigan Tech. This has embarrassed us all, and we should demand better. And
Hey there. Hi, Joel, again. I had a large statement written, but I actually don't really want to talk to Joel. I want to talk to all of you here, specifically the people that said, I can disagree and disagree, like agree to disagree. I can agree to disagree with you about pineapple on pizza, right? I love pineapple on pizza, actually. I know a lot of people think it's gross, but it's actually super delicious. But I can't disagree or agree to disagree about basic human decency, and certainly not about racism. And I think about the kids that are in those pictures. Those images are going to haunt them for the rest of their lives. Those are the kind of images that come back when they're looking for jobs. God forbid they want to hold public office. Those kids are dressed as caricatures of Mexican people. It's A, disgusting, and B, really, really sad. It's really sad, you guys. It's also really sad to see how many people here are defending racism in our community. We, again, all live together, right? I live next to you, you live next to me. We should all be kind to one another, but we're standing here and defending children dressed as Mexican caricatures, right? It's gross. It's just gross. Anyways, it's gross. I work with kids in this community, Joel, and I just wanted to say after December with the male-female thing, I had kids in my office crying, suicidal kids, crying because of what you said. Children under the age of 12 years old in my office asking why a man like you is in public office. It's so deeply upsetting the way that you hold yourself, and you should hold yourself to a higher standard because you work for us. You work for us. You can have your racist, homophobic opinions at home, but you're in public office, my guy. Do better. All of you do better. Please.
Your name is Alex?
Okay, well, we need to figure out, I mean, these people can be calling in from out.
Hello, my name is Patrick.
Well, they need to identify themselves at least.
Am I ready?
Okay, Patrick, can you identify yourself for the roll keeping for the minutes here?
Do you need my last name as well? Or would you like me just to bring up my video?
What is your first and last name?
Patrick Morath.
Okay, are you a resident of Houghton County?
Yes, I am.
Very good, thank you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Patrick Morath. I'm a member of the Keweenaw Socialists and a taxpayer in Houghton County. A lot of us are here today once again due to Joel's actions, which at this point seem to be designed to create controversy and boost his career. Any type of glorification of ICE has no place in our community. They are an unaccountable and unconstitutional militia force designed to crush the freedom of others and cleanse this country of anyone who is deemed an other, which is a constantly shrinking circle. This type of float is designed to intimidate others.
Patrick, excuse me, I'm going to interrupt. We're not going to allow your video images. If you have something to say, please continue.
What do you mean by that?
Someone else started the video, Commissioner.
Pardon me?
That was somebody else's video. That was not Patrick.
Okay, well, let's get a handle on this. Patrick, somebody else crashed our system and posted a video. So I apologize for the interruption. Please restart your speech here.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a member of the Keweenaw Socialists and a taxpayer in Houghton County. A lot of us are here today, once again due to Joel's actions, which at this point seem to be designed to create controversy and boost his career. Any type of glorification of ICE has no place in our community. They are an unaccountable and unconstitutional militia force designed to crush the freedom of others and cleanse this country of anyone who is deemed an other, which is a constantly shrinking circle. This type of float is designed to intimidate others and prevent them from speaking out about ICE's actions and to make them fear for their safety. Anyone allowing a float or supporting ICE clearly wants the kind of chaos we are seeing across the country in our backyard. I'm sure community members would love to watch their neighbors get dragged from their cars and executed in the streets. Thank you.
Hold on.
Okay.
What?
Bio break. A bio break. I need to use that.
Oh. Well, let's listen to the next guy.
All right.
Okay. Okay, and you're on.
Hi,
And
can you
could
hear me?
identify? Yes. Would you be so good to give us your first and last name, and are you located in Houghton County?
Yes, my name is Ann Bimberg. I'm not ashamed to identify myself, even though I noticed many people did not give their last names this evening. I live in Minnesota
We
currently.
apologize
I
for
grew up.
any inconsistencies. We're just trying to keep, some sort of a handle on the proceedings here. Are you in Houghton County?
Of course.
Okay.
No, I currently live in Minnesota, so I know I cannot say anything regarding Joel. I grew up in Calumet, I lived here most of my life, and I'm in Calumet right now. I love this place. And I was ashamed to see that picture. Many people have said it with me, so I won't belabor the point. But I think most of the people here blustering and defending know deep down that it was racist. We all know what racism is. We all know a God-fearing man can be racist. A good husband and father can be a racist. It's not too late to apologize and say you did wrong. It's not too late to do better. My legal Mexican immigrant neighbor, who has been here over 2 decades, was hauled out of his truck in a Home Depot with no criminal record because he was a person of color. That's called racial profiling. And sir, the veteran who said, go to Iran if you don't like it, that's an asinine comment. It's very disingenuous. Just because something is worse in another country doesn't mean we accept bad things here in America. We can all do better. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to call a 5-minute break.
After water bottle, when they eat steak, there's a blue or black water bottle, something to send bottles.
How many more are on?
How are you doing? Okay, well.
Hi, Joel, Chelsea from the Gazette. You said you had a statement, like to give to us in writing. Thank you. Email me. Yep, I'm gonna email you tomorrow. Is that all right? All right, sounds good. Talk to you then.
Future meetings.
Okay, well, I think maybe the board needs to make a decision when we reconvene. Are we going to allow people a second time? Or
We have in the past.
Huh?
In the past, we did. On that Second Amendment one, people came back around and spoke a second time.
Okay.
Elbow, let it go.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, are we going to?
I don't think they
We'll
should,
bring it up for a
personally,
vote.
but we have done in the past.
Good job keeping a handle on things. I like that part.
What's that?
Good job keeping a handle on things.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be order. So.
This is America, lady.
That's what I thought,
but I don't want to be causing
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Good. I say, how are you? Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, things are going well. Well, kind of.
Yeah, yep.
Gotta keep charging forward, right?
Yep.
But I didn't get it yet.
Those are the thoughts I wanted to share this evening.
Sorry?
Those are the thoughts I wanted to share this evening. So.
I thought I
everything
sent
going
it
with you?
around.
I saw you
I know
once.
I
You came and
saw
bought
it.
some strawberries from me.
I didn't
I was down
get
at
the last
around Goodwin.
Well,
Motors.
let's find out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She wrote the check and I saw your name. Oh, our commissioner. How's everything?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
Good. Yeah, Daniel got married. I don't know if you heard that.
You did?
Daniel, he did. Yep, he got married. They're expecting their first baby. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he did. He built the house.
It was going well?
Yeah, yep, going good.
You want me to?
Okay, nice seeing you.
one that's already started.
I didn't sign one.
No,
I did not see one.
Nobody
I
saw
think
it?
you're the only one that signed and it got his place.
Thank you. Bob, I got someone text me that Alex is not letting him speak. And his comments are being turned off. So I got a problem with all these people online. We don't know where they're from, who they are.
Well, we're done with that. Anyway. We're not going.
That's the bad thing about that. They could be out in California chirping at us.
We need to address that too. And get an opinion on it.
3 hours is a little bit much.
Okay.
Before I forget this again. I don't hear what they're saying up there anyway.
Still on for 11 o'clock.
Or the
Steve Otto from Whooper, Wednesday, July 15 at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Direct plan.
I'll text, I believe it is. I have to check my email here, but I'll let you know.
I wasn't sure if it may have gotten longer because of the stuff going
Hey, you gotta wait your turn. Still going.
Everything I'm.
Not.
Wrap this up. Can you wrap all this up pretty quick?
I hope we can. It's up to the chairman, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know, everything you wrote in red was outstanding.
Gotcha. I sent you an email. Hope to hear from you soon. Have a safe night, okay?
Verbatim.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I hope you print everything.
Recess is over. We'll come to order.
Sentence for sentence.
We hope to get.
If you don't, I'll be very disappointed.
Have order.
One more person.
All right, I have for you commissioners, it's been suggested by two of our department heads that they don't advise us to have the precedent of allowing more than 1 3-minute opportunity to speak during public comments per individual. So unless you have any objections, we're going to proceed with our agenda here.
Mr. Chairman, sorry to be interrupted. There's one more individual that would like to speak online that I don't think has that.
Okay, if we have one more, but let him in. But we want to know.
Steve, you got the floor.
Okay, Steve, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
Steve,
guess I wasn't sure how to get on this.
We'd like your first and last name, and are you a Houghton County resident?
Yeah, this is Steve Rossio. I'm a Houghton County resident.
Thank you, Steve.
And I'd just like
Proceed.
Yeah, and unfortunately I missed, I guess Joel did a statement early on. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear that, but I've been listening to a lot of comments and a lot of people bashing Joel as this evil person, and nothing could be further from the truth. He's not a racist. You know, all this name calling really doesn't mean a whole lot. It just kind of shows who you are. But Joel, I know from personal experience, I've seen him through the years. He's actually a very generous person. He's a very caring person. You know, a lot of these people who have been so boisterous and, you know, I'll call them the left. You know, they seem to be really loud. They're kind of the minority in the area, which, you know, that's fine. They have their First Amendment right. But to talk about Joel as some kind of evil person, he's actually a very caring person. I see him giving out of his own pocket. I've seen him give a ton of money to different organizations out of his own pocket, not out of some government funded bank account. He actually gives of his own self. And, you know, the truth of the matter is the whole ICE operation, all this stuff, you know, my opinion, if you're in this country illegally, then yeah, you need to go. You came here, you're illegal. And that's just part of it. ICE is actually an organization, and that is their job, to deport people who came here illegally. You broke the law, you know. Joel, I know, is a law-abiding citizen. I'm a law-abiding citizen. If you break the law, you pay the consequences. Maybe you've been here 20 years. That doesn't matter. If you came here illegally, you broke the law, and now you actually got caught, and it's time for you to go. Are these good people? Yes, they're good people. I've worked with some of these people. My kids work with some of these people. As far as this float, you know, my kids work with a bunch of Mexicans, and they actually showed them the video and showed them what all this they thought it was funny. Just so you know. And yes, are there things going on in the country where it looks really bad? Are some people going to get caught up in some of this ICE operations? Yeah, they're gonna. If you're hanging around with bad people and you happen to be there, yeah, you might get caught up in it. Is it racial profiling? Well, yeah, that's kind of common sense, you know? You do need to racial profile to find out if somebody's illegal. And we do need to clean up the country. Unfortunately, we had 4 years of an administration that just opened up the borders and they didn't care. And now we as taxpayers are paying the price for all these people. We find people, we're getting more poor people in the country. Well, quit importing the poor. You know, we can't afford it all. That's basically the point. But as far as Joel, don't pin him as some kind of.
Okay, thanks for your comments. Your time has expired. All right, well, moving on our agenda,
Shut it down.
what?
Shut it down.
We're moving on.
He doesn't run the meeting.
Public comments is over. Okay, next item is announcements. There is an IRS public auction taking place here on the courthouse steps on July 22nd and that's at 10 a.m. Is this posted on our website?
Yes.
There are 2 properties being offered for sale by the IRS. Minimum bid is $75,231.20. Are there any other announcements?
Chairman, can I say one?
Of course.
Just a reminder that early voting is going to start on July 25th. So that is going to be a week from Saturday, and it'll be running 9 days till August 2nd. That last Sunday will be open from 8 o'clock to 4. Location anybody wants to come, and it's over at the Hopeful Arena.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any other announcements? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen and supported by Commissioner Anderson to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you all for attending tonight and for your civil participation.